Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18, and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 61, with Enfield Town FC. To say that this off-season would be one of the most frustrating I've had in the short save that is the Dafuge Challenge with Enfield Town FC would be a vast understatement. After our solid finish last year, plus the TV money, we ended up with a payroll budget of £22,660. It was originally close to £30,000, but I adjusted that down to get my original transfer budget up to £238,000, which you think would be good enough to get some quality players on board. I would bet, and I'm just ballparking this here for the round number effect, I made contract offers to 100 players, free agents and otherwise, and 90 of them turned me down because Enfield Town isn't big enough. They think playing in Enfield Town would be a step down in their career. They think Enfield Town isn't going places. What turned into a 4-hour scouting effort turned into a day-long scouting effort. And I think we came out on the positive end of it. But man, it was not fun at all. As you can see, we're doing okay finance-wise. I've played about 4 games into the season so far. A lot of our positive financial income is a result of the fact of the friendlies I played at the beginning of the season, but I will come to those in just a minute. Let's go to the transfers, the ins and outs. There were a lot of released players. Most of them were longtime members of Enfield Town that just were not going to make it at this level and possibly the next, or they were getting older. Michael Smith ended up retiring at the end of the year. Harry England was released. Lee Angle was released because he was upset we didn't get promoted and he did not want to sign a new contract. Josh Meekings left. Josh Benson left. Joe Grayson didn't want to sign a new contract. I'm not quite sure why. Lewis Lummis, Brian Allen, William Deering all left as well, and the last 3 were all youth players that were just never going to find a spot on the team. On the free transfer market, Tom King, our backup goalie last year, who never saw a game, went to Rotherham on a free. Coming in, Tom Collins. 3-star current, 4.5-star potential center midfielder, really good physicals, good mentals where they count, very good technicals, except where they kind of count in a couple of places, I think. Excellent first touch, decent passing, decent technique. His lowest attribute is a 4 on long throws, which I think is fabulous. He's come in as the advanced playmaker, and he's done a very nice job for us. I tried getting Steele back as the keeper. I went to Leeds and said, hey, I want to loan him back because Leeds signed him to a new contract before I could get him signed. And Leeds turned around and said, no, we want him to play with players of a higher caliber. So I went out, I found Wayne Ward, young goalkeeper, 22 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, good physicals, okay mentals, his anticipation could probably use a little work, his composure as well, good decisions, excellent determination, okay positioning. His goalkeeping skills are also very good, with the exception of his first touch, but I'm okay with that. The 16 reflexes, I think, more than make up for that. Johnny Mitchell looks 13 years old, is actually 24. Defensive center back, very good physicals, decent mentals. His concentration could use a little bit of work, and so could his off the ball, but his positioning is okay. His determination and decision makings are okay. His technicals, well, his heading is an 8, his jumping reach is a 15, and his strength is a 16, so he'll do a job there. His marking and his tackling, on the other hand, are pretty good. Came to us for a decent contract, only £750 a week. Jason Knight is from Ireland, has actually been capped on the under-21 team. He had a couple different offers from a couple different teams, and kind of surprisingly, he came here. Physicals are okay with the exception of his jumping reach, but he's a center midfielder. I don't expect him to be in the scrum. His mentals are pretty good across the board, better than average in some areas that count: positioning, vision, decision-making. His technicals, a couple of them are a bit on the low side, but where they count for his position, in particular his first touch, his passing and technique, they're really, really good. His marking is okay, his tackling could use some help, and he's pretty good with the long shots too. Conor Slim is a backup defensive center back, 22 years old, 2.5-star current, 4-star potential ability. Okay physicals, his mentals are good, decent aggression, good bravery, excellent decision-making and determination. His positioning is okay. Well, it's better than okay. A 14 is actually pretty good. His heading is a 12, his jumping reach is only a 10. His marking is a 10, his tackling is a 9. He's a project for us, but he's a capable backup, and that's what I brought him on as. Michael Taylor, a defensive right back. Okay physicals. Jumping reach of 5 is kind of unsettling until you look at his height and realize he's only 5'7" and 147 pounds rather. Okay mentals, okay technicals. His marking and his tackling are very good. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. 21 years old. He'll get better as he gets more playing time. Mitchell is my starting right back, but he plays center back quite a bit as well, and he and Taylor are switching off back and forth. Owen McManus was our last free transfer in, another defensive center back, 18 years old, loaned him right back out to Welling United to get some first team playing time. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. His physicals are okay, his jumping reach and natural fitness are great, as well as his strength rather. His mentals could use some help. Composure, his determination especially. I have him being tutored, and I'm hoping that tutoring carries on while he's at Welling United. I've never really paid attention if that happens or not. But once that improves, he'll be really good. Good on corners, good on free kicks. 10 heading, 10 marking, 14 tackling are also very good. His passing could use a little bit of work. But he's a project, and for £300 a week and the salary buffer I have, he was worth picking up. Loan-wise, Brad Willems went out to Barrow, Owen McManus went out to Welling United. We brought Carl Adams in from Leeds United, which I find interesting because they wouldn't let Steele come back to us. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's here as cover for the first team. Really good physicals. His mentals are good where they count. His technicals are also good where they count as well. I think he'll be a more than capable backup for us, and he'll be a more than capable starter for us. Transfer-wise, a couple of these were frustrating. Hearts came after Lee Nichols really, really hard, and eventually they offered me money that I couldn't turn down. £69,000 up front, going to £140,000. Oliver Skipp came to me and said he's accomplished everything he could at Enfield Town. He wanted to move on to a bigger challenge, and apparently that bigger challenge is Crawley Town, who's in League 2 just as we are. Chesterfield came after Janai Gordon really hard in the last transfer window, but I held on to him. But with about 12 to 8 games left in this season, he just hit a wall. And I wanted to get Cousins more playing time at the defensive forward position. So Cousins went in, and then Chesterfield made another offer for him in this most current transfer window. He's getting older. He's not getting any better. And £22,000, while it isn't exactly value for him, I ended up losing money on him, about £17,000 worth. Getting back something for him is great, especially after the performances he had for us. I definitely got my money's worth out of him. Luke Wolfenden came to me, said he wanted to move on. I put him out there, and Plymouth snapped him up. So we had £140,000 out. Didn't spend any bring any in. We're on 50% of our transfer budget, and that gives us £238,000 in the bank, give or take. And £252,000 in the bank, give or take. And no matter what I did, I'd go out and I'd find a player, who's 3-star current, 5-star potential. And I'd offer his club £100,000 for him straight up, and they'd say, yeah, sure. And he would say, nope, I'm not interested in playing for you. Enfield Town isn't going anywhere. And I have the salary budget to spend too. I've got £6,000 to play with. I've got more than that to play with, especially if I lower some of my transfer budget. To the point where, at one point in time, I was afraid if I lowered it too much, I would exceed the fair play rules for League 2. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I let go of all of my midfield wingers. I like playing the 3-4-3. I also like playing the 3-4-1-2, but with the forwards I've had every season I've been at Enfield, playing the 3-4-3 made more sense. I played the 3-4-1-2 a lot in FM18 with my save in there. And I fired up FM17 to see what I was missing, because I just wasn't happy with the defensive performance coming out of the 3-4-3. And so I fired up that save and played a game or two, and then realized that I was playing USL Dunkirk, and I took them from the 3rd league in France to League One. And then through some very good luck and some very good scouting, I managed to get probably the best player on my save on my team, complete forward by the name of Victor Kolarek. And I watched my team play, and I realized, okay, that tactic works really well when you have 11 world-class players on your team. The tactic also works really well when you have players who fit the roles that they're supposed to be playing. And frankly, I just got frustrated with my winger play. They weren't doing it for me. I did keep one winger, Stephen Walker, the 3-star current, 4.5-star potential. He came in as a attacking mid-left, but I trained him to a midfield left. I'm retraining him to a center midfielder playing advanced playmaker, because eventually I want him to step in for Collins. But one of the other reasons I was also very comfortable switching to a 4-3-3 is that after 2 years of being out on loan, Issa Bamba has come back as a 2.5-star current, 4.5-star potential left fullback. He's a Biafran national. He's got 320 appearances and 1 appearance for their national team. His mentals have gotten a lot better while he was out on loan. His physicals have also improved. His technicals have gotten a little bit better, but his marking and tackling have also really improved. He's currently out on international play. But getting defensive right back and defensive left back play was one of the big reasons I switched to the 4-3-3. I can still drop to the 3-4-3, except my wingers in that formation just aren't as good. And frankly, I've used this tactic before, attacking and structured, and it's really done a job for us. So we had 6 weeks of preseason, and I used it to the best of my ability. I scheduled a lot of friendlies against some very big teams, and in between I scheduled some, not exactly minnows, but teams that would at least give us a challenge. But as you can see here, almost 4,000 fans for Aston Villa, 5,000 fans for Crystal Palace and West Ham, 5,000 fans for Tottenham, which was on TV, so Enfield got to see Harry Kane score against them. And it was a solid off-season for us. We had a couple results that were kind of surprising. We almost beat Aston Villa. It took a late goal to rescue that. We beat Bromley. We absolutely smashed West Ham 6-3, but they were starting a lot of the under-23s and under-18 guys. The 4-1 against Cambridge United was nice. Scoring 2 goals against Tottenham was, I think, a success. And then beating Cambridge City 5-3 was also really good. So I am 6 games into the season, and we are undefeated, which is scary, to be honest with you. Away at Scunthorpe, we tied 3-3. Alzade had a 3rd-minute goal for Scunthorpe. Kel Rogers had a 51st-minute goal, and then a 64th-minute winner off a penalty kick. Greenwood had a 4th-minute goal. He answered right away after the Alzade goal. Then he had a 60-minute goal for a brace. Mungo Bridge had a 28th-minute goal. Against Birmingham in the Carabao Cup first round, which was televised, we didn't have a huge home crowd, which was kind of a shame because they would have saw us win. John Greenwood had a 19th-minute goal. Isaac Vassell followed it up on the ensuing kickoff for Birmingham. Tom Collins had a 31st-minute goal. Jason Rigby had a 60th-minute goal. And then Tom Ashton came on as a substitute and picked up right where he left off. It was almost like he was playing from 3 seasons ago. A 75th-minute goal and an 83rd-minute goal to put it away. I think he's going to be my super sub replacement this season. He's, frankly, just not good enough to be a full-time starter. He's back on a backup contract at £350 a week. He can come in and play almost any of the 4 positions. He's a credible defensive forward. He's not the best defensive forward out there. And he can also play on either side, although he's primarily left-footed. I think he will be my super sub of the year, hands down. And Birmingham's a championship team, and we put it to him. Next up was Gillingham at home, and this was a surprise, to be honest with you. Tom Ashton had a 49th minute goal after coming on, and a shutout. I think this is the earliest we've had a shutout in a long, long time. And then we followed it up by going away to Bristol Rovers and winning 3-0 there, back-to-back shutouts. Danley Finlayson had a pretty unfortunate own goal for Bristol Rovers, and then Mungo Bridge had a 75th minute penalty kick, and then he put the game away in the 84th minute with a really nice shot. We followed that up by going away to Swansea for the Carabao Cup second round. Swansea is a Premier League team, and they started not exactly their strongest side, and we shut them out. That's back-to-back-to-back shutouts, which I don't think has ever happened in the history of Enfield Town. 2-0 was the final score. Barry Cousins had a 26th minute goal. Mungo Bridge had an 86th minute goal. After that, we were away at Notts County, and we won there as well, 3-1. Mungo Bridge had a brace goals in the 9th and 22nd minutes. Callum Whelan got Notts County on the board in the 29th minute. Jack Lee put the game away with an 82nd minute goal. Notts County has been picked by the punditry to win League 2 this year. So as you can see from the league table here, we are currently in 3rd place. 3 wins, 1 draw. This bothers me. It shouldn't, but the fact of the matter is, we've still got poor youth facilities. We've got basic training facilities. Our value has gone up. Our finances are just okay. And we're in that weird area where we're losing money one month and we're making it back the next month. And to top it off, we've got these 2 loans we are paying off at £18,000 a month. And it's put us in a position where I go to the board and I say, hey, how about improving the training facilities? We can't, we're not in the financial position to do so. How about expanding our youth recruitment? Can't do it, the finances aren't there. I really think we need to improve the core of the club before we even try for promotion up to League 1. Another year or 2 at least. I'm afraid if we get promoted, we're going to be in the position again where we're not going to be able to attract the quality players we want to attract. And the players we have aren't going to be happy because our facilities are crap. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. But at the same time, I can't be upset because the guys are playing really well. I mean, back-to-back-to-back shutouts. Who can argue with that? Who'd be upset with that? Me, apparently. So today, it's just going to be the one game, the West Ham under-23s for the Checkatrade. Simply because the intro and catching up part of this episode is probably going to be about 15 minutes long, and scheduling 2 home games would be just too much. So I'm going to set my best 11 for West Ham, and I will be back with that game in just a bit. So a new season means a new skin. This is the K76 skin, and I really like it, except for one thing, and that is the match intro screen. It's really, really nice, but this page right here does not last long enough to read off both sides' starting lineups. It doesn't even last long enough for me to read my starting lineup 9 times out of 10. So what I'm going to do is, before the kickoff, go to the tactics screen, read my lineup off to you. So we are playing our 4-3-3. Ward is in goal. Adams, Lee, Mitchell, and Tanner are the defensive back 4. Collins, Knight, and Archer are the midfield 3. Bridge, Cousins, and Greenwood are up top as the strikers. On our bench, we have Noel McLeod, Hunt, Walker, Ashton, Slynn, Daly, and Taylor. Noel McLeod, if he ever sees the field, I'm in trouble. Because he is my 16-year-old youth keeper. Why is he in the starting lineup, even as a reserve? Because League 2 rules state you have to have a player who has trained at your facilities since he's been there. The homegrown something or other. even though some of these players have been with the team for a while, none of them are original to the club. And I couldn't actually play a game until I found someone who's original to the club. And I have plenty of youth players, and McLeod was the best of a bunch of bad choices. 2.5-star potential keeper. He's got some talent. This 19 aggression is a bit worrying. He's getting a lot of starts on the under-18 team. But like I said, if he sees the field, there's problems. So we're moving right to left in our whites. West Ham under-23s appear to be a solid team. I recognize some of the players' names from when we beat them in the preseason, so they're probably out for a measure of revenge. Edwards to Carroll to El Masani, who's going to cross it in. Edwards is there, and it hits the crossbar and goes over. Dodged a bullet there. Mitchell with the kick for West Ham. Lee kicks it, goes right to Edwards, but his pass is intercepted. Kicked away by Mitchell, but it goes right to Walker Peters on West Ham. Mew sends it over to El Masani. Got even injured, he's faster than my guys. Crosses it in, Blanco's there, hits the crossbar, Lee kicks it away, but it goes right to Walker Peters. Mitchell is just having a devil of a time dealing with El Masani. O'Keefe at the top of the box for West Ham to Blanco. To Carroll. To El Masani. He's going to cross it in, Blanco's there, and he taps it right past Ward. Yeah, we should have done a better job dealing with that. O'Keefe with the kick. Now Tanner's going to knock it away. Cousins is there. He sends it up to Bridge, who's all alone on the left. Crosses it to Greenwood, who's all alone on the right. Cross it, Greeny, to Bridge, and he puts it away, and we tie it up. That was well done. One of the things I'm really hoping this year is that my strikers do a better job of passing to the open man instead of taking the shot. Late in the season last year, Greenwood would have tried the shot on that. It would have been annoying as hell because he had two options there and he took advantage of them. 5 minutes till a half. Tanner with the throw in to Knight. Up to Collins. Over to Lee. To Mitchell, who sends it up to Archer. Passes to Greenwood. Oh, he loses the ball. Taken away by a West Ham player on a slide tackle. Now Blanco has it. Dives. Makes his way between the two defenders, but his shot is just wide left. I think Tanner is going to come off at the half. He is just getting the runaround by El Masani, and he just picked up a yellow. He is definitely coming off the half. We'll move Mitchell over. Coming up on halftime, fairly even game stats-wise. We've had one more on target than them, but we've also had twice as many fouls. Slight possession advantage, but that's okay. We're going to bring on Taylor for Tanner. See what happens the rest of the half. Moving left to right now. Taylor long pass to Greenwood, who got behind the line. Crosses it in. A West Ham player stepped in front of Bridge before he could get there. Taylor to Collins. Now his pass to Greenwood was intercepted by Roviola. Blanco has it now. Ward with a nice save. Well, Blanco certainly has some speed. El-Massani with a long pass towards Blanco, who got behind the line again. Oh, boy, we dodged a bullet there. It hit the post and ricocheted out instead of ricocheting in. Ward on the ensuing kick sends it right to Norman on West Ham. He sends it over to Blanco, but Knight dispossesses him. Mitchell picks the ball up, sends it over to Greenwood. Greenwood to Taylor, over to Knight, to Collins, up to Cousins in the center. Back to Collins. He tries passing it. Oh, Greenwood to Bridge. Oh, chance goes begging there. I think Bridge just rushed his shot. It was a nice dispossession by Greenwood. El-Massani has it now. Oh, slide tackle misses. O'Keefe is there, and he puts it past Ward on the far post. Karam's in. That was a good shot. Ward tried some Olay sort of save that just did not work. That was Roverola with the throw-in for West Ham. Goes back to him, goes to Mew, who sends it to Norman. O'Keefe is there, but his shot's wide left. Coming up on 60 minutes, we'll make another substitute here. Collins with the ball, dispossessed by Mew, sends it up to Blanco. His pass goes to O'Keefe. He feeds El-Massani. And he goes to Norman. Nice save by Ward. Archer has it. He kicks it away. Roverola is there for West Ham, but the highlight ends. Throw in for West Ham. Roverola to El-Massani. To Blanco. Oh, guys. They've really come on the second half. Oh, the player just walked away from Blanco there. That was... Collins is going to move over to deep lying playmaker. And then Knight's going to move over to where Archer is. Walker is going to come on as the advanced playmaker. It says he's not really good at it, but he's only been training on it for about 4 weeks now. But I think his ability is just too good to pass up. He was a really good midfielder left for us last season. His natural position is attacking mid-left, but I just don't play those. At least yet, anyways. So get him some first-team playing time. And we'll save our last sub. Taylor sends it forward. Mew on West Ham sends it back. Collins tries taking the ball away from Blanco, but he can't. O'Keefe now. What the heck just happened? What was that? Blanco to O'Keefe. Like 4 Enfield players just literally watched the weakest hit pass I have ever seen go right through them. You know what? Cousins is on a 6-0. He's going to come off. Bridge will move to the defensive forward. Ashton will play poacher where he's best. We're going to go back to the attack. Actually, we'll go to the overload, see if we can't get one more goal out of this. They've absolutely thumped us the second half of this match. Roverola's still on the field. He's at 50%. Good grief. Well, to think we were tied at the half, if I remember correctly. O'Keefe with the penalty kick from just outside the box, but it's high. Let me see, 5 minutes extra time probably? No, just 3. Norman throws the ball into Blanco, dispossessed by Collins, but Norman's there to pick it up. Carroll has it, centers it to O'Keefe, and his shot is just right. No, that's going to be the game. Well, we thumped them in the preseason. They got their revenge on us. 21 shots, 7 on target for them. 12 shots, 4 on target for us. Not good, guys. Not good. And we're playing MK Dons and Gillingham and the rest of the group. It's possible we could advance. You know what we're going to do? We're going to skip ahead a little bit. We're going to play Chesterfield at home and then Tottenham away for the Carabao Cup third round. We'll probably get smashed, but it should be fun to watch. Well, it's early days in League 2. We are undefeated. Back-to-back-to-back clean sheets, beating a championship team such as Birmingham and a Premier League team such as Swansea and the Carabao are certainly feathers in our cap. And yet, I'm conflicted. I'm really happy the guys are winning. I think the 4-3-3 is going to turn out really well for us this year, especially defensively. If we get even close to a mid-table standing defensive stats-wise, and our offense remains as prolific now as it has in the past, we're going to get promoted. I want to be happy about that. I should be happy about that. And on more than one level, I am happy about that. My issue is the foundation that is Enfield Town FC is not fully formed. I don't think it's strong enough to support us in League One. It's definitely not strong enough to support us in the Championship. And frankly, I just don't have another day and a half in me to go out and get turned down by player after player after player, no matter how much money I throw after them, transfer-wise and salary-wise. Kind of strikes me as a first world problem, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I think this season's going to be fun to watch. We're off on the right foot. I think if we do this year what we did last year, get off to a quick start, get a few games under our belt, if we do stumble, we should still finish solidly mid-table, and I will be very happy with that. I'll be happy if we finish in the playoffs or get an automatic promotion spot, just not as happy as I would be if we just finished mid-table. I'll admit, it doesn't make a lot of sense listening to it, but that's the way I feel. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM18. I thank you for watching.